Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Joey Francis, your life, love, and relationship coach. Thank you for joining me. This week's episode may, in fact, be the most important dating podcast you ever listen to. I have discovered something that apparently hasn't been discovered for hundreds, if not thousands of years since human beings started getting into relationships and dating. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know you're asking yourself, like, what is it? What could it be? This is crazy. Unfortunately, it's not something that complicated, but here we are. I'm going to tell you how to get people to treat you the way you want to be treated. I know, what a crazy concept, right? The thing is, it's common sense. It's something we've all learned as kids. The golden rule. And if you don't know what the golden rule is, I'll tell you. Treat people as you want to be treated. How hard can that be? That's it. That's all I have to tell you. Like if you want someone to treat you a certain way, just treat them that certain way. Treat people how you want to be treated. It's literally that simple. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to work with the person you're dating or the person that you're interested in dating or even the person you're in a current relationship with. Unfortunately, it's not going to work with everybody because at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't treat you the way you want to be treated, then you shouldn't bother being there. I told a story a few episodes ago about the scorpion and the frog. It's one of my favorite stories to tell. I think it was episode 4 or 5. Don't quote me on it, but it's in one of the earlier episodes. So you can go back and listen to it. I'm not going to tell you again. But nonetheless, people are who they are. So if you treat someone with a level of respect and compassion and you want that back, but they don't give it back to you, simply put, they're not for you. They obviously don't value enough to treat you that way. And granted, some people might even be a little dense. I know it's a little mean to say, but it's true. Some people might be a little bit dense and they might need help understanding, in which you are 100% able to sit them down and say, hey, listen, this is the way I've been treating you. And this is the way I wish to be treated. And you can bring it up and have a conversation with them about it and see if anything changes or not. But at the end of the day, if they're not giving you what you need, then essentially find somebody who will. Because it's just not going to work in the long run. Either you or them are going to be upset and hold resentment and start fights for no reason and be quiet and not talk and not communicate and walk away. So to stop all that from happening, start off on the right foot. Now, this is another aspect of it all. Each and every one of us essentially speaks our own language. And sometimes we have to learn how to communicate with another person based on their own language. There's people out there that will literally want to talk to you throughout the whole day and tell you how their day is going and, express how they felt when this happened or that happened and be excited about this and not so excited about that. And they want to share it all with you. You might not be the type of person that wants that. Well, then the two of you aren't necessarily compatible unless one is willing to, tone it down a bit and the other one is willing to open it up a bit. And even in those cases, you're still not being authentic because you're trying to make someone happy by not being yourself. And if not being yourself is what someone wants, then essentially they don't want you. They want this fake version of you that you're being. So learning someone's communication style is definitely important in the dating phase, the dating realm. Everybody is going to be a little bit different. So first, try to recognize the type of person that you are, how much communication that you require or that you want in a partner, and go out there, and when you're dating, you essentially inquire and ask and talk about it and say, "Hey, listen, you know what? When I'm in a relationship, this is what I like it to be. When I'm, dating someone, I want to learn about them. I want to know about their day. I want this, I want that." Versus, hey, we all live busy lives, and you know, I don't need to hear about all the stuff that's happened throughout your day because I've already had quite a busy day myself, and I don't need to deal with yours. And it is what it is. Everybody's different, and there's no right or wrong answer in this aspect. You can't go to someone and say, "Oh, you should be more communicative. You should talk to me more." If that's not their style, that's not their style. You're trying to force it out of them. And again, they might do it to be nice, but over time, it's not going to be enough for you, and they're going to start resenting you because you always ask them. Unless, again, they are open to changing. But here's the thing about changing: it's up to us to change. It's like to change ourselves, not to change other people. You can't force someone to change. They have to want to change themselves. So if someone absolutely adores you and, you know, wants to change, well, that's for them to decide on their own. And that's that. Is there anything else I can really talk about when it comes to this? I mean, it's really simple, and I know it's dumb because it's like it's just the golden rule. But so many people out there, they want to play games. They want to test. And funny enough, I do it too. I test people, but I do both. Okay. So essentially the way that whoops. Essentially the way that I work. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. Essentially the way that I work is that me being the gentleman and the gentleman that I am, I will always reach out. I will always initiate conversations. But at some point, I need to know that the person I'm talking to is also interested in me. Is there a point of their day that they're saying, "Hey, I wonder what Joy is up to. Let me send them a message and see what he's up to." Right? As in me not reaching out to them. So for like, again, this is more towards the whole online thing, but if I start match with someone and start talking to them, I will reach out to them. I will say good morning because, again, that's just the type of person I am. And I understand how lovely it is to receive that from somebody. I mean, golden rule. I liked when people say good morning to me. It's lovely when someone who you are interested in says like, "Hey, I was thinking about you this morning. Good morning." It makes you feel good. Starts off your day like really nicely. So I will do that. And then I will reach out, at some other point throughout the day. And I will do that for a handful of days. And then I will stop. Not stop saying good morning because that's my thing. And I will always say good morning, but I will stop reaching out throughout the day to see what happens, to see if I'm worthy enough of being on their mind and for them to say to me, like, "Hey, I was thinking about you. How's your day going?" And if they don't, then they're gone. Simple as that. I will just stop messaging them altogether. And if I get nothing back within 24 hours of doing that, then they're just gone. And if they message me after 24 hours, like, "Hey, I didn't get your good morning. Hey, I didn't get this." And it's like, "Oh, now you want to talk. Now that you're not getting what you want to talk." That's very interesting. Uh, yeah, that's me. That's just something that I do. And it is a little bit of both. It's me treating someone how I want to be treated by reaching out, saying good morning. And again, it doesn't even have to be all the time, but I just want to know that I'm wanted. I want to know that you're interested in me and you're willing to put the time in, and I'm on your mind and you're thinking about me. Because if it's none of those things, then what am I doing here? Am I just in like another name on your list? I don't want to be that. So, is it fair? That's for you to decide. Because to me, makes perfect sense, right? If I'm going to date someone, if I'm going to put the time in, if I'm going to get dressed up, take them out, get to know them better, give them my time, I want to know that what I'm getting back is equal. And so many people will say that I want the same energy that I'm giving. And this is it. This is all that I'm asking for. I'm asking for the same thing. So, but again, I will reach out. I will say good morning. And I always treat people the way that I want to be treated, with understanding and respect. And hey, if I by any chance do talk to someone and don't like what I hear, they just don't have the qualities that I'm looking for, I'll tell them. I'll say, hey, listen, you know what? I appreciate you. I thank you for your time, but you're not what I'm looking for. And I wish you the best of luck on your journey. And I hope that you find what you want. And I'll call it at that. Because that's still, again, the golden rule. It's just like being polite and considerate to people and not playing dumb games. See, again, this isn't for the younger crowd, because who knows what goes through their heads. I mean, we can say that we were all young once, but even in that case, times were different when we were younger, right? So what kids are going through today has absolutely no bearing on what we're going through or what we were going through back then and what we're going through now. It's still completely different. So the whole idea of treating someone the way that you want to be treated, it's like a time saver. If anything, it's like, let's not do this bullshit game stuff. Let's not act like children and let's act like adults. If I want to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you. And if you want to talk to me, you should just talk to me. Simple as that. I know for a lot of people, it's not that simple. But guys, it can be. Ladies and gentlemen, it can be. And I understand. I get it. Oh, masculine energy. The guy should be the one that reaches out. Yeah, but the guy should be the one that reaches out. But he doesn't have to be all the time. Funny enough, I don't know if this really pertains to the golden rule or not, but I see stories online and I hear stories online of women approaching men. And I know there's going to be a lot of women out there that are like, oh, no, should never do that. Don't do it. But funny enough, the success rate of a woman approaching a man, I mean, provided that he's single, is probably like 90%, if not more, versus a man approaching a woman. Because a man can approach a woman, and even by the way he says hi, she could get the ick. She could, get all creeped out by it. Like, oh, well, nobody talks to me in public. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't talk to me in public. Which is weird, because then they go out with their friends and they're like, I wish guys would just approach me. Right? I'm sure you guys all know somebody that's like that. But when vice versa, a woman can go up to a guy and just say hi. And the guy will be like, oh my God, hi. It's such a pleasure to meet you. And they'll just lean into it, because guys don't get that treatment. And believe it or not, ladies, the majority of men like it. They like the attention. So if by any chance and just to prove my point, there was a dating app that became very, 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 very popular. It's called Bumble, right? Women messaging men first. Yeah, things you tend to change, because the people who own the site, obviously they're there to make money, but they found out that women got so lazy they couldn't even say hi to a guy. So they had to let guys message women first. Yeah. Sad, but that's the way things go. Because again, if we just treated people the way we want to be treated, as in if, a woman wants a man to approach them, then, they could approach a guy too every now and then. Funny enough, just thinking about this, because I've been thinking about this whole masculine, feminine energy thing, and I'm literally writing a paper on it because I think people have it backwards and wrong. But I'll get to that. That's either going to like be a career maker, career ender for me whenever I decide to make that into a podcast. But funny enough, if you look back in time, if you see the way that people acted in social settings, obviously the internet and online dating didn't work back then, or didn't work. It didn't exist back then. Obviously, it's not going to work. It didn't exist back then. But women did technically make the first move, going all the way back, where they would literally drop their hanky on the floor in front of a guy and have him pick it up, or ask for help, or give a guy a glance and a smile. This was women making the first move. Now, granted, it wasn't verbal communication, but it was like body language. It was communicating on a different level to say like, hey, I notice you. I'm looking at you. Why don't you come over here and talk to me? And even granted, even in my younger day when we used to go clubbing, women would still give the glance and the smile, which was like the, okay, it's safe to go. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. And then you would go and talk to them. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen at all anymore, which kind of sad because, you know, I did enjoy doing that. And I still try, but most of the time when I approach women in public, they look at me like if I'm a leper or just creepy. And it's just, I'm just saying hi. I mean, like, maybe I come off as being creepy. I don't know. From like girlfriends of mine, they say I don't, but you know, maybe they're just trying to be nice. Who knows? Anyways, that's it, guys, girls. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If you want people to pay attention to you, pay attention to them. If you want people to, you know, treat you with respect and compassion, do the same for them. That's it. And if they don't, find someone who will. That's simple. I know that people say, oh, there's no girls out there. Oh, there's no guys out there. And it's like, listen, if you're not putting yourself out there, then you ain't going to find anything out there. It's simple as that. And granted, you know, going online and meeting somebody, and it's like you meet one person, then you find out that they're like really creepy and weird. And you're like, no, I'm not doing this no more. Well, your sample size is 1. So, I mean, it's nothing. That's literally just 1 better than 0. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I think that was it that I wanted to talk about today. That and then some. I had to create some filler because granted, the golden rule isn't that difficult of a topic, right? Okay, well, that's that. So if you have any podcast ideas for me and you'd like me to tell your story and comment on it, feel free to email me at joeyfrances@gmail.com or go to my website, joeyfrances.com. That's joeyfrances.com. I believe it is in the description. And you can go there and send me a message and I will respond and maybe talk about this on a podcast because it'll be such a great idea and such an amazing story. And listen, I believe everybody's story is worth sharing because we don't know who's listening. We could be helping somebody. And that's why I'm doing this, to help out somebody. And I hope that I'm helping out one of you. So on that note, remember, love yourself first and confidently choose what's best for you. Till next time.